70 of the Forest of Pain. Gonna continue on our sort of revisit to this area. The goal is 10 blocks a day, and we've only got 30 blocks left. Today we're knocking out 70 through 80, at least that is the plan. Here's our phase bonus for the block 71 to 74. We have to open 7 treasures or trap boxes, defeat 8 enemy parties, try to get KO'd 2 times or less, and perform 6 awakenings. I think this is all easily doable, especially with what we've shown our party capable of. Had a funny feeling this morning that I should get on a little early and sort of mitigate my inventory bloat here by trading with Shino and Alcade, who I'm partying with here, and it turned out to be a pretty decent plan to go ahead and log in early as my system needed updated. So lucky call there, and we are streaming on time. Before I get too far into this, I'm going to do the cliche YouTube thing here, but I've noticed a considerable uptick, just a small channel, not really getting my name out there, not really promoting things as well as I could be. But I've seen a real uptick in the .hack content, and I've seen a lot of likes, and I just kind of want to say thank you. It's cool to know that you guys are kind of digging what I'm doing here. Getting back to the actual action I'm doing here. Had a Rengeki charged on the Massacre Mummy that I had up in the air, and didn't realize there was one closer to me, so when I went for the skill trigger, it didn't really work out as I hoped it would. Must have just missed the Rengeki there too. Man, I'm 0 for 2 on those. Times you're happy there's a harvest player, right folks? Building up the morale meter with support spells so my failed Rengekis aren't being relied on as heavily. There's one I can't possibly miss. Yeah, let's finish her off. Let's see if we can't take this out with an Avatar Awakening, get our cutscene of Skaith right quick and in a hurry here. Nope, still one Massacre Mummy left. And well, that'll show you a big difference between the first 50 levels and the second 50. No easy fights here. Everything is more than winnable, but you're not going to be taking them out in like 30 seconds like we were previous. That's just not realistic, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Be kind of boring if being maxed out meant you could just waltz through the Forest of Pain. It's a post-game event, so it should be designed with a bit of a challenge for post-game players. And again, we've still got 30 blocks for things to get more difficult. I do believe I am at a pretty decent advantage just using the twin guns. I'm using the DG0. I like them more than the DGZ. They feel more spare than the DGZ. I may change that up here in the later blocks just to have that, shot to take the life down to next to nothing. I don't really see a need for it. And it would make these battles just sort of, hit my double trigger. I missed that in the first Rengeki attempt. I was so thrown off by that mummy being directly underfoot and me not realizing it. Another thing I just realized, these Harpy Queens are wearing some ridiculously big platform shoes. You love when the skill trigger hits just in the middle of some NPC commentary. Alcade with a very exaggerated die to the Harpy Queen as we sort of froze time there.
It's finished.
Really glad I went with this team. One, because it's a technically effective team. It's balanced. You've got support and, you know, extra damage. And two, because they're fun to listen to. Coming up on some lava dodos. I was trying to figure out what these giant peacock things were called. I couldn't remember. Lava dodo doesn't really seem to fit and yet seems perfect at the same time, no? Feeling these guys would be lotus flowers. Well, let's do an awakening real quick. That'll take care of the one, and the other lava dodos under 2,000. Don't really think I'm gonna get a Rengeki trigger out of this.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And Alcade's weapon leveled up. So bonus there. You know, I wasn't even sure if I was down any chim spheres. I just sort of assumed because last session seemed like I was constantly out of them. So the good news is up to 999. Bad news is I forgot to check this little steam door here, so I was going down 5. Now there's steam doors blocking this door. Easy come, easy go. Looks like we got a couple more mummies and a harpy.
You're open.
I love kicking the smaller guys. Just to open the battle with the surprise round there, see them fly into each other and everything. Satisfying is a word I feel is overused in the world as it is, but I really can't think of a better way to describe my feeling there. Like, it's really enjoyable. You get your money's worth out of the attack. I'm guessing that's the mummies with the paralysis effect you just saw on Alcade there. Probably gonna stop and use my icons to get the ST back up. Alcade in particular seems a little low. Sheena's got a bit to her as well, and with the absolute tank of skill points she has, that's scary enough. You know she's burnt through a bunch when you see discernible red. So Harpy Queen's down. Now we've just got the mummies to take care of. The Massacre Mummies. Awesome alliteration on the Massacre Mummy. Man, that gauge is filling up in a hurry. We may just be able to hit another awakening here. Oh yeah, we're getting the awakening. We're gonna Lotus Flower up, double trigger out, and then that'll take us to the awakening. Maybe overkill at this point, but that's what we're doing. A little dot hack overkill. I don't know if it just missed that other mummy or what, but I don't know, was its hit points that high? Did over 2,000 on the awakening. Well, as promised, I'm gonna hit my icons here, just get everything back in working order real quick. It's not so much that I have to use them, but if you've got them, why wouldn't you? Time to head through. How's everybody doing out there? Nice quiet morning. Typically why I stream early in the morning where I'm at. I'm a bit of a morning person. No one else in the house is, so this is sort of my time. Like to take an hour out of it on my days off and just kinda chill with everyone. Heading to the next block here. Who wants to bet it's H-shaped? Anybody? Check out the Fairy Queen orb. Hey, we're shocked it's H-shaped. Man, those footsteps are just strange. The sound effects when I play through a game for the first time. But doing extra content like this, especially multiple times, I'm just sort of looking at everything a little differently, because I guess I'm weird. Also weird is how little damage this is doing to that Harpy's little, like, air protection shield thing. Like, this is a fully cheat leveled out DG0, and it ain't doing that much damage. There we go. Chaotic strike into a double trigger should be more than enough here. Ooh. Nice little boost on the morale meter there. We are just pumping that thing full today, huh? Didn't hit that trigger in time, but we got everything taken care of. A little bit of bonus experience for our already maxed out characters. Once again, a little excessive, but yeah, why not? We are heading down. In case you're wondering why I'm checking the map so frequently, if you go back a couple episodes, made the mistake of trying to do a stream caffeine and drink free. Not only was my voice raspier than, you know, trying to speak through sandpaper, but
Yeah, looks like
I just no awareness whatsoever for the situation. I ended up backing completely out of the block I was exploring. Just wasting time left and right on no situational awareness, so trying to do a bit better on these, especially as they're getting a bit tougher. I know trying to keep it under an hour is going to be a bit more of a struggle if I do everything, and that's why I'm going out of my way to hit these goals as early as possible. So if need be, the last couple blocks we could just run through. Start off with an awakening here. It's not going to kill the second lava dodo, but it's certainly going to put a dent in the hit point total. And just a little extra damage gets us through. Looks like we were just about to trigger a Rangeki there at the point of death, just from that little flicker on the screen. Pick up an omnipotent soda, because goodness knows omnipotence is what I look for in my soft drinks. Okay, a little room this way. Let's hit that little room, huh? Steam door. Yay, steam door. Got a battle at least. We got a battle. Sneak onto this side.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Okay, it's getting goosebumps, and we've got a lava dodo to the face. Now, is that an exaggerated beaker? Is this thing part anteater? I can't help but feel like it's part anteater, which is very disturbing taxonomy. Ooh. Lava dodo's got a paralyze effect. That's neat. See if we can't trigger a Rangeki up here. Get this morale bar over half before the next battle. Staying a bit of a distance so I'm not doing full damage, but the Harpy Queen seemed to have other ideas, so I had to back off. There we go. Let's do Bone Crusher. Been a while since we've done one of those. Not the flashiest attack in the repertoire, but it's certainly going to do its share of the damage. Those Edge Punisher attacks, comparable to a Heavy Blade from the older games, Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, and Quarantine, or Fragment if you play it. In fact, shameless plug for the channel, if you enjoy .hack content, I do a bunch of it. I do these streams here, and I do a lot of Fragment uploads. Just recently uncovered a seasonal event on the Fragment Friday. Went into play in the evening, and we ended up finding the Sports Day event, which was awesome. There are a couple captures of it floating around. I believe Slistrel, who runs the Fragment Resurgence Discord, has one. Has a real nice capture of the event. I think Dow may have captured it, judging by the perspective of the player. I of course did mine as well, and you know, if you enjoy me just making dad jokes over things, I encourage you to watch that one as well. But it's kind of cool. We used two different interface settings, so all sorts of little differences between the two. I enjoyed watching them both. How are we doing on our... Okay, we have yet to open 7 treasure or trap boxes, we have yet to defeat 8 enemy parties, and we have yet to perform 6 awakenings, though not through lack of trying. Effort's been there. In fact, probably gonna do another awakening here in this. Oh, we got a trap chest, and it's a 5-second. I am not afraid. That includes the shoulder buttons, and my word, is that a lot of buttons. I am not the most nimble-fingered individual. Insert joke there. But yeah, just trying to sit there and do those crazy combinations between shoulder buttons, face buttons, and the direction pad. It requires a lot more thought than I prefer to put into games, because gaming is the time I usually don't have to think too hard anymore. Okay, none of that was really necessary. See, that's what I was afraid of. I was going to go for the awakening, and then I realized the Harpy Queen still had her little shield up. And I didn't want to waste it, because if that shield's up, it's literally just going to destroy the shield, and that's it. So there's another awakening in the books. Freeze on the band intro with the party all set up there. I think that was in parody mode. Spoilers for those who haven't got that far. But they did a rock band related joke in one of the parody mode content things. Okay, yeah. We want to go this way first, and then up. Saying it out loud in the hopes that I don't forget it. If you see me checking the map when I get back to the room, I did in fact forget it. Not even gonna lie on that one. Sure, we'll do the chaotic strike. Especially only hitting on half of the trigger. Got a paralyzed Dalcade. Oh, I guess she wasn't paralyzed. Or she just came out of it. Either way, lucky timing for us. A Yoho Heil. That is one heck of a name right there. I suppose with a name like that, job prospects would be limited if you're a giant anchor and your name is Yoho Heil. RPG Monster seems to be about the only thing you'd actually be qualified for. Let's see if we can leave it alive here. We're going to do a Lotus Flower. We're going to double trigger into it, but I do believe that's going to get us to another Awakening, and we're going to finish it off with the Awakening. Just a quick skip there. Skip that mushroom there. Leave one to tell the tale. Intentionally not checking the map here. I remembered I needed to go up. Up is the direction we're going. Not touching the map. Told you guys I was only going to touch it if I forgot there. I remembered. So we could put that one as a positive. Kick our massacre mummy into the mob of monsters. That's about as many M's as I could have fit into a short sentence. I feel anything else would have simply been overdoing it. Alright. Another Rengeki trigger here right away. Part 3 Haseo is, I think it's probably the most fun to play because of the weapon change. Like in D&D, when I played, it was one of those things, like, I always wanted my characters to have quick draw. It wasn't the most effective item, and it almost never meshed well with what I was trying to do with the character. But just the ability to go from, like, two-handed sword to bow or daggers or whatever, just at the drop of a hat, was badass. And that's kind of what the Rengeki trigger and being able to switch weapons on the fly feels like to me. He does his little Zach Morris pause in time there. I'd say I'm showing my age there, but I find there's certain references that kids will get from when I was a kid, and there's certain references they absolutely do not understand.
Oh yeah, piece of cake.
Yeah, we're gonna give up on that item. And hey, that's all of our stuff, so we've reached the fun part of this. We get to just run through this next bit, because we've got all of our meaningful objectives. Now we just have to not die. Block 74 anyway, so you know it's getting tight on these. Don't need the chests. Just double check on that. Nope, don't need the chests, don't need the awakenings, just need to not die. Which in fact is my favorite thing to... My favorite one of the... Ah! See, I knew they were close to the door. I thought we could scare through. This is the point where somebody's probably going to remind me that there are items in the game that let you skip combats. Yes, there are. I have one. But just the very nature of an item that lets you skip combat, like, it's an RPG. I'm trying to skate through, but if I gotta equip an item to skip combat, that just seems like too much. Besides which, it's not so much of a sacrifice to take out a giant peacock dodo anteater thing. Use another awakening. Just for the gigs. mummy's definitely sounding like I'm gonna sound tomorrow. These poor guys have the worst toothache. That is the exact sound I make when I have a toothache. Just noticed. Okay, it's at like 4 SP. Whoops. Now let's get through this. Skipping that combat shouldn't be so tough, even after I run face first into a wall. And then we get through this block. Let's see what goodies we pick up here at the bonus. Yep, there's our phase bonuses all completed. We get 10 Revive Storm, a Nil Defile, a Body Mop, and a Cat Whiskers. Once again, using our Pure Icon and Medallion respectively. Throwing all the 50s out there, and we're just going to run through here. If you haven't played through this yet, or if you're planning to play through for the first time, it's usually areas like this where you're going to run into big bad boss battles. Already gone through them here. This is a revisit, so we're just going to go ahead and touch up at the save point. That way, if anything screwy happens, we've made it this far. And then we're going to continue on our way to the second half. At the rate we're going, this time next week we should just be finishing it up. Not sure what I'm going to do after the forest. May take a little break here. Maybe do some Diablo 3 since Halloween's right around the corner. Okay, now we have to perform a 110 hit combo, defeat 8 enemy parties, and perform 6 awakenings while getting knocked out 2 times or less, and I believe that is party-wide. Not worried about the knockouts at all. Again, as with most things, the 110 hit combo is probably the most worrisome, but these monsters are more than hardy enough to take some hits, and all I really have to do to ensure that is stay back at a distance, since the guns do virtually no damage from a distance. Coming up on a steam door here. Got some scorpions. Wheeljack, they're calling them. These are like loosely modeled like the scorpion tanks from R1 games. Those guys were always fun to run into because they were massive, and they looked like the kind of thing that was going to kill you in one shot, even if you were 5 levels higher than them. At least that's how I took it. Caught me that time. Could not dash away quick enough. Okay, let's see if I can get this up to 110. Get that combo out of the way right away. Ignoring that Rengeki trigger, even though it would be beneficial to me. There's 90, there's 100, there's 110. Okay, cool. We got it. We got our 110 combo, and now it's all gravy. That was by far going to be the toughest thing anyway, so we'll hit this awakening. Take out about half of this Wheeljack's remaining hit points, and just keep going at it. The old slide and shoot. Like I'm playing Galaga or something. Another shameless channel plug, if you enjoy retro games, games from the 80s and 90s, I do that quite a bit as well. In fact, all month of October I'm trying to make all of my retro uploads Halloween themed. Will I succeed? Probably. I guess if I run out of games I could just quit. But I think we'll make it the full month, uploading a few times every day. See, once again, I almost go the wrong way. Distract myself with shameless channel plugs. have another wheeljack, and we've got one of the gob cannon line, which are just neat. They're motor unicycle lancers. Little goblins sitting there. Goddamn 78. Goddamn indeed. That is my humor right there. Got the shield off, which is good because we're building beautifully to another awakening here. Gonna hit that awakening, and you know the crazy thing, it's not even gonna be enough to kill it. God damn it.
Let's go to the next one.
Love puns built into names. I've apparently got more new mail. Should really check that sometime I'm not in a place called the Forest of Pain. Should also be more prescient to which door I'm walking through. Meant to go to this little side entrance here and trigger another battle so we could get closer to our goals.
I'm getting goosebumps.
And instead I started wandering up. You just can't take me anywhere, even in an MMO. Or in this case, a single-player game emulating an MMO. And doing it rather well. It is kind of neat, and there's like 50 channels out there that cover it a lot better than I ever could. You know, just search .hack related content in your search bar. I'm sure you'll pull up a few of them. But one of the things that virtually every channel does a great job in covering is just how well these games sort of predicted the future in a great many respects. For instance, the Backlash, IMOQ, Infection, Mutation, Outbreak, and Quarantine had faced for basically being a game coming out in 4 parts at full retail, when in reality it was just sort of this awkward pre-DLC phase. So if you wanted, you could look at it as a base game with 3 expansion packs in physical form.
That was nothing.
That's how I look at it, but then I'm lucky enough to actually own them all physical. I say lucky, I paid a ton of money for more than I felt comfortable paying for Quarantine, but it was one of those things, and I credit my wife for knowing just how insane my fandoms get at times. She looks at me and goes, "You want it? Go get it." So hats off to her, because I'm far too cheap to pull the trigger on something like that myself. But it is kind of neat to think of that game as sort of a DLC in physical form. At least for me it is. In the news section, I believe somebody pointed out they had the cat toilet listed. Which is a weird thing to remember about the game, but yeah, you know, that ended up being a thing not long after those games came out. I think it was Erroneous posted on the .hack Network Discord. Somebody did. About the GU games in their news, sort of predicting the Zoom classroom situation that everyone's in sort of now, where kids are going to school digitally thanks to the current world situation and everything. And, you know, my son's 6, he's in that situation too. Actually, he'll be coming down to start school here in a little bit. Getting the stream in before he gets up and going.
Let's go to the next one.
Yeah, to the next one we go. Slow down by the giant swinging blades of doom. I don't know why, but everything has to be the thing of doom. Maybe an internal personality tick. Use our Fairy Queen orb. Clear this block out entirely, then we're going to start checking our objectives, see how close we are. But the goddamn monster caught us. I'm going to be making about 20 more of those, so if you're enjoying them, stick around.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Gonna make all the goddamn jokes. Pardon me. Bit of a sneeze there. Don't you hate when you're talking on a microphone or something and all of a sudden the silences go haywire? Personally, still not comfortable talking on a microphone. I'm getting better at it. Again, thank you guys for watching. It really does help. Apparently that Rengeki trigger was not for the goddamn 78. But this awakening is. Since I apparently missed its birthday, or what have you. Up to 131 cheat codes. Definitely gotta turn those in at the Netslum once we're all done here. Get some fancy things, at least some stat boosts. Long-term plan, I may branch into some other games. I do plan on doing GU fairly regularly though. Don't know if we'll be revisiting other things, trying to get some achievements and unlockables that I haven't really done in the game yet. But we'll be doing something fun GU related. May keep those more for Sundays and then do other games on Wednesdays. I don't know.
Don't let your guard down.
Just diversify a little bit. Of course, it seems like everybody's been responding well to the .hack content in general, so I may just keep it at 2 streams a week for GU as well. Bone Crusher just does a stupid amount of damage. Simple and effective. That Wheeljack just torn to shreds with it. Kind of makes Lotus Flower the least of my awakenings, because Chaotic Strike and Justice are the big flashy multi-hit ones. Lotus Flower, I mean, it's nice, and it will pop smaller enemies into the air there. But aside from setting up the Scythe, which of course has that awesome lifesteal ability, there's not too much it really does. Scythe, of course, being your phase weapon. Basically just hitting this Rengeki so we could double trigger back to the gun, since I forgot last time. What we were really after was the awakening, and we hit it.
That was nothing.
We hit the goddamn 78 with an awakening. Grab the treasure chest here. And instantly give up the item. Yeah, let's go to that dead end room before we go. Blue arrow, of course, indicating the next level down. Red arrow shows where we came from. In regards to the block.
Don't let your guard down.
Couple wheeljacks here. Back one caught us, but not in time to alert the front. Wow, that 40 minutes kind of flew by. I didn't realize we were that far in already. Tougher enemies will do it, I guess. Get a Rengeki on this wheeljack as well. Shouldn't be a problem, right? Nah, no problem at all. Get ourselves set up so that next combat we are more than able to hit another awakening.
That was nothing.
Did we get a weapon level up there? That's nice. Definitely not arguing with that. Pure medallion, not needed so much. Just do it for the sake of topping things off. Icon of Purity, like crazy. Shino in particular has been taking a beating on those. Again, if you're just checking out the video now, thanks for coming in, checking the stream. We stream here twice a week when possible. Not sure if that's going to be too doable once we get into November, because holidays for me kinda crazy, especially Wednesdays. I end up working more often than not, and even my off days I'm spent doing work-related things. But I'm going to do my best to upload on as many Sundays as possible. Went the wrong way. As I am wont to do. Not an intentional thing there, just get sidetracked a lot. It's chill time, and the mind never has been the sharpest. But it's passable enough to clear the forest of pain. Not gonna lie, that's just an awesome sounding name for an event. I know I've said it before, I'll probably say it again. But sign me up for anything game event related if it's got a name like the Forest of Pain. So we haven't defeated 8 parties yet, and we haven't performed 6 awakenings. I feel like we're pretty close on both of those.
I'll crush you.
Ah, more of the carry line. What was that name? Carrion Tien? Am I saying that right? Carrion Tien? Because that's what I'm getting out of that. Carrion Tien? Well, that one just blew the half out. So we've got a Goblin General and a Carrion Tien. Goblin General just messed us up a bit. That'll teach us to ignore the Gob Gob. Let's get that shell out of there with the Bone Crusher. Double trigger into the Judgment. And yeah, just keep the pressure up on this Carrion Tien if we can. Goblin General interrupts us, but that's fine because we're going for an awakening. Not in the mood for the Goblin General shenanigans right now.
That was nothing.
Got a little bit of built in the next awakening. I don't know, do we need another awakening after this one? No, we don't. Hey, that's our 8 parties, too. So we're just gonna zip on through on this. Nice. I knew we were close. Didn't know we were that close. That's a bonus, because, I'm not gonna lie, time was getting a bit worrisome for me. I like to keep these things under an hour. That way I'm not taking up too much time, and I'm available for when everyone gets rolling down here, as family time is important. Hopefully I'm not chewing up too much of your time either, keeping this nice and enjoyable, a little easy watching in your downtime. I would like to say that, you know, I do things other than gaming, but as far as leisure time goes, gaming's kind of my thing. It has been forever. I want to say it's the YouTube channel Open Every Box on one of his podcasts. The guy there, Pete, like one of the nicest guys ever. And I am 100% plugging a larger channel just because I'm a fan. I think it was on an Evercast episode. He does a podcast series covering the Evercade, but he compared YouTube in its current iteration to talk radio, and I thought that was sort of a neat way to look at it. Doesn't make it seem so overly daunting, just the kind of thing you could have some fun with, and that's what we're trying to do here. Just have some fun. Play some games and have some of you along for the ride. At this point, we're just doing a running sim. We've hit our objectives for this leg of the Forest of Pain, and at the 46-minute mark, it's a good time to start looking at packing things in. Take a wide berth there. I'd have normally opened the chests, but we're pretty full up on items. So I'd have more than likely just got something that I'd be tossing back down anyway. Not really hunting for anything that could be found in a chest anyway, and it's not like I'm going to be going back to town to alchemize things. Alchemize, is that the word? Already had 99 revive storm. I guess that's not too surprising, since we are on well past post game. I don't know, what do you guys think about Part 4? Should I do some Part 4 stuff? Like, it's fun the things they do with Part 4, but it's very limited. We are going to wrap it up here, though. That's block 79. So 80 blocks down, effectively, in Forest of Pain. Thank you all very much for watching. Again, we'll be back on Sunday. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, and we will talk to you next time.